Neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups are in the news, causing fear, fomenting violence, and attempting to bring down governments.
What would happen if a Canadian journalist went undercover and joined one?
We're previewing White Hot Hate.
That's on this episode of So Much Crime.
So Little Time. Welcome to So Much Crime, So Little Time. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Dee, and in this episode we'll introduce you to White Hot Hate from CBC.
If you haven't listened to White Hot Hate, that is great. This is one of our preview episodes.
We're only going to discuss episode 1 here, and we'll introduce you to the series as a whole. There will be no spoilers for what's to come.
We'll also put a link to this podcast in our show notes.
In our next episode, we'll discuss the whole series, but right now, we just want to decide if this is a crime that we think is worth your time. Jeff, before we get into this story, let's hop into the time machine. This crime happened on August 16th, 2019 in Winnipeg, of all the pegs, in Canada. Would you believe, Jeff, I know a little bit about this place. Often I do not. My friends emigrated from Ireland to Winnipeg in, I'm going to say 2007 or 8.
Can I?
For a couple of years.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Finish your story.
Canadian? Is that what you're going to say? No.
Can I test how well you know this with a couple of quick rapid fire trivia questions before we get into our time machine?
Oh my God, I just said I knew that they moved there. That's literally the end of my knowledge. I remembered that there was a lake somewhere and it was cold a lot of the time, but go for it.
Those are actually related to the questions I have for you. There's just a couple of quick questions.
It.
All right.
Okay, go for it.
3 quick trivia questions about Winnipeg for you. First off, and this can be multiple choice if you want it to be. It doesn't have to be. Which Canadian province is Winnipeg located in? Do you want choices?
Yeah, I don't know any of the provinces.
All right, let me give you 4 choices. A,
okay.
Ontario. B, Alberta. C, Saskatchewan. D, Manitoba.
Manitoba?
That is correct. Yeah.
Stop it!
You got it.
Yeah.
All right, you're 1 for 1.
Ming, 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 ming.
Let's see if you can run the table.
You can't just say that is correct. We got to get some noises in there.
All right.
Let's go. 2,
tell you
quick.
I'm going to put noises in.
Rapid fire. This is not rapid fire. I don't know if you know what that means.
The name
Did
Winnipeg.
they discuss that in your English degrees? No. Okay,
The name Winnipeg comes from the Western Cree language and translates to what? And I have choices here if you want.
Windy Lake.
That is incorrect. Do you want to hear the choices?
Is it close?
It's let me give you the choices.
No. Okay.
A, muddy water. B, endless winter. C, city of lakes. D, place where the geese honk at you.
I'm going to say endless winter.
Good guess, but no, muddy water.
Is it muddy water?
Yeah.
Is it muddy water? I was thinking I was between the two. Okay.
See if you can get the winning percentage. Last one. Winnipeg is well known for its -50 Celsius temperature. See what I did there? Celsius. And harsh blizzards.
Look at you. That's a lot of Celsius to be negative.
Well, and also the harsh blizzards. Giving it what nickname? All right. 4 choices. A, Snowy Peg. B, Winter Peg. C, Winnie Cold. Or D, the North Pole.
C was just so weird.
Winnie Cold?
Just say C again. Winnie Cold?
Winnie Cold.
It doesn't even make any sense. And B was what?
Winter Peg.
Something. Winter Peg, I think.
That is correct. And actually, the full nickname is Winterpeg Manasnoba.
That's hilarious. I love that.
All right. I'm gonna transition to music, and I'm going to talk to you. See if you can guess the number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 chart on the date of this crime, which, as a reminder, was August 16th, 2019. Okay, number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100. This was this artist's first top 10 entry. Now, I have some really good clues. This was the first
top 10 entry
for this artist. This was the first time they made it in the top 10, and this one went to number 1. It was number 1 this week. It only went to number 2 in Ireland. but pretty big hit still in Ireland. Now,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of going to the number one on Billboard Hot 100, this was the first artist who was born in the 2000s to achieve this feat, and the youngest one since 2013, when a then 16-year-old did it. Any idea who that 16-year-old was back in 2013?
Justin Bieber.
No, Lord, with Royals.
Could be Royals. Great
Yes,
song.
that's the song. Okay, 2 more quick facts, and then I have lyrics. In the United States, this song ended the record-breaking 19-week run of a song we've talked about before, Old Town Road by Lil Nas X.
Sorry, what was the reference to the youngest person?
This was
Is
the
this person young? I think I
first
stopped
person-
listening for a second.
this was the first person born in the 2000s to hit number one on the Billboard Hot 100.
Okay.
And the youngest
They
person
have to be
since,
at least 19.
well, at most 19, because they were born in the 2000s.
That's what I meant.
Yes. Okay.
That was the word I meant. To
Last
have
clue. Pop Buzz, in reviewing the song, called it the perfect anthem for anyone who likes to get in touch with their dark side. Okay, so you know the age, you know a little bit about the song, and I guess that's kind of it. All right, you want to hear some lyrics?
Mm-hmm.
White shirt, now red. Diaz, give me the
No, keep
stop
going.
sign. White shirt,
Sorry.
now red, my bloody nose. Sleeping, you're on tippy toes. Creeping around like no one knows. Think you're so criminal. Bruises on both my knees for you. Don't say thank you or please. I do what I want when I'm wanting to. My soul, so cynical. So, you're a tough guy. Like it, really rough guy. Just can't get enough guy.
Is it like Doja Cat or like Nicki Minaj or
Nope.
that vibe?
No, not that vibe at all. Boy, I thought you'd get it when we get to this pre-chorus. So the pre-chorus again. So you're a tough guy. Like it really rough guy. Just can't get enough guy. Chest always so puffed guy. I'm that bad type. Make your mama sad type. Make your girlfriend mad type. Might seduce your dad type. I'm the blank blank. All right, I'll give you another clue. She writes songs, notably with her brother. They have had a ton of hits since this. She also wrote the song for a Bond film. Billie Eilish. Bad guy. Yeah. So you're a tough guy.
Oh, I can hear
like
it
a
now.
really rough guy.
It's like a bit of a like as opposed to like a smooth melody. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Interesting.
I thought you'd get that.
Okay.
All right. Quick review. Number one restaurant in Winnipeg. There were 1,840 restaurants in Winnipeg on TripAdvisor. The number one
Wow, that's a
restaurant has a 4.6 rating out of 403 reviews, 291 excellent reviews. This is a cafe. It's kind of a pricey cafe. It's got a $2 to $3 dollar sign. It's listed as cafe, Canadian. And this one jumped out at me because this review is a short poem, and it's by someone named Rose C., which is also my mother's name. So that stood out to me. Shout out to my mom.
Rosie.
This is a one-star
Like
review.
Rosie. Like
Rose.
Rosie.
Rose C.
Oh no, I get it.
Rose
But I'm
C.
just saying it's cute.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Title of this review is Brunch Restaurant. Very descriptive. And I'm going to read this as a poem because it has line
Love
breaks in
brunch.
weird places.
Isn't it like the best? I think it's the best meal of the day. But anyway, go on. Line breaks poem.
Yeah. Here it is.
Look at you. Is this why you chose it? You're like, oh my God, it's structured like poetry. Sorry.
Here it goes. Line 1. Well, I went once with my daughter and her friend, and it was just okay. Line 2. Dragged my husband back 2 weeks later, and when I saw the plate. Line 3.
No, okay. I need
Come.
you to stop.
I thought.
I need you to stop. I need you to start again. I don't need to be told the line breaks. I need you, like, you are a
Okay, I'll
poetry
just read it
major.
straight.
You know how to read a poem as if it's a poem. So read it as if it's a poem.
It's syntactically so weird.
Well,
Okay, I will.
so are lots of poems.
I did practice this.
You
I practiced this one. Because I was trying to figure out why she broke the lines where she did, and I couldn't figure it out.
Just
Especially
read
this.
it and see. It's not you. You didn't write it. You don't own it.
I'm gonna stress the line breaks. I'm gonna over stress the line breaks.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 lines.
Okay.
It can't take that. I've already read 2
Just
of them.
don't say line 1,
I'm gonna
line
start
2.
over.
I can't cope with that.
Okay. Well, I once went with my daughter and her friend, and it was just okay. Dragged my husband back 2 weeks later, and when I saw the plate, come, I thought, oh no, he ain't gonna like this thickly coated skinned chicken. On a slice of toast, lathered in mayo or whatever, I, on the other hand, opted
Or whatever. What's the alternative?
for the burger, and it was horrible, worst burger and pink inside. Will not go back.
That is a lot.
And I'm sorry, if you're complaining about the burger being pink inside, burgers should be pink inside.
Oh, should they? If you're mincing the meat.
Yeah, they should.
No?
What do you mean mincing the meat?
Well, like a burger is like minced meat and then like put together. But as soon as you mince the meat, you're putting air and bacteria into the meat, no? You got to cook it all the way through.
It should be pink. It should be pink. No, it should be pink.
Why?
You're killing the flavor of your burger.
Okay.
That's what makes it taste good.
All right. All right. Calm down. But also.
Are you a well done burger person?
No, I'm like my steaks are like medium rare.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
My
That's the right answer.
burgers are like medium on the side of well. Like I don't want it to be like crispy on the outside. I don't like that. But like mince. Mince has to be cooked through. Unless it's like dealt with in a really specific way. Like if you're having mince, not tartare, the other one.
Tartare is rare.
No, but tartare, is that not the slices? No, carpaccio is the slices, tartare is the mince.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, there are other things to question here. The
Jeff,
thickly coated skin chicken.
What's the... Yeah. Okay. I want you to like rewrite that review, but like in a limerick. Can you rewrite it right now in a limerick?
I can't do a limerick on command.
What do you mean? It's
I
like...
once with my daughter to Nantucket. They had a thickly coated skin chicken so bad.
Winnipeg. What's the name of the restaurant?
The name of the restaurant is Clementine.
Clementine. Hers was not fine.
What rhymes with...
First meal was fine.
There you go. Yeah.
Brought my husband back.
Okay.
His meat was not.
It's supposed to be AABBA.
So I did AA.
Yeah. What's your BB?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Are we going to workshop this poem?
Yeah. I think that's where we should go with this. It's written in a poem.
Okay. So
Clementine
was fine.
My first meal was fine. Or first meal was fine. Isn't that it? Da, 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 da. Is that not the like syllables that we need here?
All right, here's your line 3 and 4. He ain't gonna like this thickly coated skin chicken on toast.
But she brought her husband back the second time. Is that what happened?
Yeah, rhyme with toast. Give me a rhyme with toast.
Roast.
He ain't gonna like this thickly coated skin chicken on toast.
Is that too many words? Too many syllables?
It's a lot of words. Yeah, it's a lot of syllables.
He dissing that chicken on toast. It's got too much skin to roast.
All right, and let's come back to A. Let's see, Clementine, fine.
Mine, bine, goodbyeing. We used to always have to do in our school at the end of our Christmas like holiday, like our last day, all the staff would come into the staff room. There'd be like 45 of us, and everyone would have had a secret Santa, and you give them a present. It could have been like $10 of a present, but everyone had to write a limerick about the person you'd given it to, but you never had to say who you were giving it to. So you would just receive a gift and someone has written you a limerick and someone else reads it out about you, or sometimes you have to read it out about yourself. Some of them were so bad. But
worst burger, pink inside, the color of wine.
Okay, do the whole thing there, because I got confused.
Went with my daughter and her friend to Clementine.
No.
First dish came out and it was
Limerick's
fine.
not the one that you have to do the... Or no, it's an acrostic. Is that what I'm thinking of?
What are you thinking of?
I don't know. I'm thinking of...
I don't know.
Like a word. I don't know. I think we're creating...
Acrostic spells a word down.
Oh, no. You know the one where we have to like be like blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, it is a limerick.
Yeah.
We're not doing
It's
it
a
very
5-line
well.
poem.
Yeah. AA. BBA. Okay. So you're saying you want a very long first line. There once was a girl who went to Clementine. Is that what we're saying? Her first meal with her daughter was just fine. Brought her husband back. He had a bad rack. And now everything is misaligned.
Great. Print it. Ship it.
I feel like you failed, to be honest. You just had this opportunity to like...
You went from racing through this to let's workshop a limerick.
But limericks should be quick. They're funny and they should be quick. We should be witty.
Okay. When I studied poetry, we didn't spend a lot of time writing limericks on command.
What? What were you spending your time on?
Didn't.
Correcting people?
Oh,
over
I wrote
their
almost
use of their
almost
words, or
no.
be like, let's discuss how many words we can use to make people feel like idiots. Like, what was that word you used earlier?
This may shock you. Vacillate.
Vacillate. Yeah, sorry, it took me a second to remember it. Which made me feel
Almost
like
no
an idiot.
formal rhyming poetry written in my master's or undergrad programs.
What? How would the poets
People don't
know?
really do that anymore.
How do they know how
People
to write
don't
it
do
though?
that. That's not
So
the
like
style.
you can either do, you can't. Like just analyze and criticize other people's, like we do. All right. Is that it for our time machine today?
That's it for our time machine for today. Hey Dee, the next time you find yourself in Winnipeg enduring a long winter, wondering, what am I going to do? This blizzard is lasting for months. Go over to patreon.com/so-much-crime, so little time. The winter will fly right by because you'll be listening to outtakes. You'll be listening to bonus clips from our show. You'll be chatting with us online. You get exclusive access to chat with both of us, not just one of us, both of us. Or it could be one of us if you prefer not to talk to one of us. That's okay too. And you'll stay warm in some of our exclusive swag. There's t-shirts, there's hats, who knows what else. But you got to go to patreon.com/so-much-crime, so little time. Check it out. Also support the show.
You'll get that warm and fuzzy feeling throughout the winter. That internal good vibes. You know, like a good whiskey. Like necking a good whiskey.
All right, Dee, let's talk about this podcast. So White Hot
we
Hate
should.
came out in 2021. The host is Michelle Shephard. There are 6 episodes, and they're about 30 to 40 minutes each. I think there's one that's like 45.
Jeff, I'm going to go through a quick recap of the story that we heard about in episode 1, and then we can hear each other's thoughts. Okay. There is, at this time, a white supremacist group who is recruiting new members in Winnipeg. Ryan Thorpe is a journalist there, and he gets assigned to look into it. Under a fake name, Ryan tries to join the group. First, there's a form to fill out. Then, there's a call with multiple people. Then, an in-person meetup in a park with someone named Patrick. Ryan hears all about the group's accelerationism, or basically trying to stoke chaos, violence, and invoke the downfall of government and society. Oh, in 2021, how far away that felt. Then his paper runs his expose, and we're basically left with a cliffhanger at the end of episode 1 because someone saw the story and has posted claiming to know who Patrick is. All right, Jeff.
Yeah.
Jesus. This is very different.
Yeah, it sure is.
Can we start maybe. Let's start at the very beginning. Can we start at the beginning? Sorry, I'm trying to bring
Sure.
any sort of
Yeah.
light to this podcast because there's so little light to be had. It's so gross.
There's a little bit of levity here. There's some funny parts
There are some
in
funny
this
parts, but anyway,
neo-Nazi story.
this who would have thought? The run at the start where the guy like they open up the entire podcast basically with this guy like jogging back being like, boys note, and then this guy was like 6'3" and blah, and he's shaved head, and I was like, what is happening? And you're like, why is this person panting into the phone? Then obviously you get a lot of the context for it. Thought it was a really interesting start to like a chaotic, stress-inducing, I kind of want to go for a run and I hate running podcast story. No?
Yeah, it was an unusual opening, and I appreciated how it circled back to that story by the end. Like it had a nice structure to it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the idea of this guy, this journalist, who we don't know this at the beginning, but he's basically faked this sort of story that he has to run to this meeting. Like he's doing this meeting while he's on a run in a park so that he can like help conceal his identity. But that and then we learn later like he had to like he couldn't record it. He was too worried about being discovered recording it, and so
that's something I want to talk about because like this kind of extremist nearly approach for the story, like before meeting this guy, so he's had a call, he's had emails, he's had a call, and now we're eventually at the stage where he's meeting up. Like he's like, well, they might recognize me because I've written about these things before. Winnipeg's not that big, so he like shaves off his facial hair.
yeah,
He's
big
like,
move there.
I can't bring my wallet because if they ask for ID, it's a different name. My name is Mark. I'm doing air quotes.
Right.
It's not actually Mark. His name is Ryan in real life, but it's Mark for like his pseudonym. So he's like, well, how do I do that? And so he has to be like, well, I'll say I usually go jogging with so busy today didn't get a chance to. I'll jog there. And obviously I'm not going to bring my wallet when I'm jogging. Then the other thing that I thought was hilarious, he like had to cover his tattoos. How funny was this whole like, so he had to like think of like, oh, I need a long sleeve like sweat like top that looks like an exercise top and leggings kind of, so that it's like, oh, I'm exercising but I'm also covering my tattoos, because one of the tattoos he had was like a sunflower tattoo, and there was one funny quote I think from Ryan who was basically saying, I have a sunflower tattoo, it's a symbol of my veganism. But it feels like not a tattoo that a macho neo-Nazi would have. So I feel like
Sure.
I need to cover it up.
What's the Venn diagram of vegans and neo-Nazis? I don't know.
I don't know,
Like,
but it's something I never thought of before. That was definitely a light part of the story.
Well,
I was just like,
but-
oh my God, that's hilarious.
While we're talking about tattoos, let's talk about what I think was the funniest part of this podcast, which was his other tattoo, was an M-30 M-, which is a sort of old journalism code for the end of the copy. And our host, who I thought had a little bit of fun, Michelle, she notes that she has the same tattoo as a lower back tattoo.
For her 30th to be like the end of my life?
Yeah. A journalism reference on her back. Love that. Anyway, yeah. So, okay. So let's talk about this. Also, shaving the mustache for a story. And to be fair, there are some people who grow facial hair and shave it, and it means nothing to them.
I was going to
But
ask
speaking as
you about this.
not one of those type of people.
I was going to ask you about this because when I was listening to this for a second time, I was like, this seems extreme. Like, because you're just meeting him in a park. Like, this is not like, you're not agreeing to do anything here. So I thought it was kind of wild. And then I was like, Jeff has facial hair. How would he feel about being like told like, but like, and also I think the other aspect of this is it seemed to be I came home from work and then I was like, oh shit, I actually have to go meet this guy. Oh shit, I have a mustache. Oh shit, he might know me with a mustache. Oh shit, I'm going to shave it off.
Speaking as a mustachioed human, I have shaved my mustache, I think about maybe 3 times since 1997.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And each time it was clearly a mistake the moment I finished shaving. So, but again, there are some people who it comes and goes. Some people grow in the winter and then shave it in the summer. Like that jumped out at me as like, that's a bridge too far for me.
Yeah.
I'd
like
be
his
out.
bridge too far was like shooting guns in a forest, but like I feel like you would do that over shaving your mustache.
Well, but you're out in a forest with neo-Nazis and guns. Although I did a version of that.
I
Some of it
know.
might be
This is why
Nazi.
I'm saying it.
Yeah, you're right. Was there whiskey involved? Because that could change things.
I mean,
Anyway.
I presume the neo-Nazis like a bit of whiskey.
Yeah, what
What cocktail
yeah,
do you
I
think
was
they
curious to hear
drink?
from you.
Is that what you're going to ask next? Sorry.
No. What was your sort of overall reaction to the story? Like, this is such a different story from anything we've covered, but like what was your take on this?
I'm kind of baffled by it. I think so I was like enthralled by it all, disturbed by so much, obviously. But by the end, I was kind of like, okay, so the story is out, and now someone has come in and said, I know who Patrick is. Patrick hasn't actually done anything. Like, I don't know if I know the legalities of this. Don't get me wrong. To me, this type of speech, particularly the part when it started to delve into Patrick, like opening up, and weird that he was opening up to someone on day one of meeting them. I thought that was weird. I mean, I would do that because I'm a very open person, but this seems like a very wild thing to open up about.
Well, do you want to share what he opened up about?
So Patrick basically says to Ryan towards the end of their meeting, oh, like, you know, previously, personally, like I was in a relationship with a woman and then Ryan made, the journalist made like a comment to say like that he was like nearly struggling with saying that his ex-girlfriend was black, and that like, so that was like nearly like something that he had to be like, you know, like as if I'm confiding in you, and then being like, oh, that was one thing, but then also there was like this pregnancy scare, and it was so scary because, you know, had that come to pass, had we had a baby together, that baby would have been what was deemed as, I can't even say it, Jeff. It's so fucking disgusting. He said like would have been like half human was one phrase. Mm-hmm. And then he also used another phrase. And I don't know, is that other phrase like, was that a phrase you had heard before? Like, I've never heard that before.
He said a mulatto child. Yeah. It's an old kind of, it's an old term for mixed race or biracial. Yeah. I think it's generally considered to be outdated and somewhat offensive.
But, okay, yeah.
I don't think it's not the most offensive word he could have used.
Okay.
But, yeah.
But, so, like, that was
half
really...
human's pretty offensive.
Yeah. And I mean, I know the way you're saying that is like, you're joking. Not joking, but you're being, whatever the word is, insert word here.
Facetious.
Yeah. Facetious. Like,
yeah.
Like it's insanely vile. And what I liked about what the podcast did with this was they presented it. They said the facts. It was very quick that Patrick was like, I fucking hated this. I couldn't even respond to it. And she was like, well, how did you react?
Right.
Like, what did your face do? And I loved that because that's what my mind does. I'm like, okay, over message, you can have your reaction, type and curate your message back. But like, what did your face do, Ryan? Oh, sorry, I said Patrick. Sorry, Ryan. What did your face do when that was said to you? And I thought that was a really interesting, like, I liked that because I felt like that was bringing it to what me as a listener wants to hear. Because I am literally like, but what did your face do? Unless you've Botoxed the shit out of that face, there is a movement that is telling that person you do not agree with them.
Well, okay. So on a lighter note and a serious note. On a lighter note, I will say when I have shaved my facial hair, I honestly didn't know what my face was saying because it just felt weird.
There. Like, okay.
On the serious note, though, And I mean, I feel like I should acknowledge this, like as someone who has biracial children. There's a part of me that hears something like this, and I've heard things like this before. I've certainly heard this kind of language before and this kind of attitude before. And it's not the first time I've heard about someone who is a part of this type of movement or has these types of beliefs, who is also themselves has been or is in a biracial relationship. Fucking JD Vance is. But it always, I don't know, there's a part of me that hears something like this and thinks like, you can't possibly believe what you're saying. And maybe this is incredibly naive, but I just feel like someone who says something like this is playing a role and just can't deep in their heart think that this is true. And to use that parallel of, we've had people in America, prominent people in America, who are either like this person, have been in a biracial relationship, maybe have biracial children, and talk like this about people of color. It is so incredibly disconnected from their own lives and experiences. It just it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand. Because I also, like, when you're talking about, like, when I'm thinking about my own kids, they are biracial. I think about that a lot, but I also don't think about that a lot. They're just people. Yeah,
of course.
They're my kids in my life. And there's so many times I'm not thinking about that. I don't know. It's just, it's such a, but to your point from earlier, it's such a weird thing to bring out when you've just met this guy. You don't know this guy.
It's more
like,
the assumption that this white guy, this white skinhead is the same in how he thinks. And it's wild to me, because I think it's less wild to me if you're saying things that like are more liberal and being like, you know, because it's not derogatory to any person, any race, any like identity. It's just wild to me that you would say this on day one. Like, nearly felt like if I wasn't hearing from the horse, if you weren't hearing it from the horse's mouth, would you have actually believed that this conversation happened?
No, because that's the other thing. Like, you don't know this guy, and you don't know if he's a more extreme white supremacist than you are, and he sees the fact that you admitted to being in a relationship with a person of color.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
As a real problem.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I hadn't even thought of that part. I was just like, what?
Because that's how some of these folks think.
Yeah. My other thought, on side note, on this whole relationship thing, like, I see where you went with it. My thought was, well, it's his ex-girlfriend. So it's not the case of what you're saying of like, he couldn't possibly think like this. My thought initially went to, oh, this guy got burnt bad, and he is blaming something he can grab onto. And he thinks he can get people to agree with him on.
I do think that's actually more likely. I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that is more likely. And I feel like that is obviously incredibly dumb.
Pathetic. Not shocking.
But yeah, like, let's play that out. So you're in this relationship, you get dumped, and then suddenly you swing so hard, you group that person in with all people of color. And whatever may have been like simmering deep below in your psyche suddenly becomes your dominant ideology.
Yeah. And like, I felt like there was a little bit of like, because throughout this podcast, the one thing I will say is there were some terms that were used that not by the white supremacist, by the host, that I didn't love, because obviously there was a lot of terms by the white supremacists that I didn't love, but there was clarify, there was a few terms or a way that things were phrased that I didn't love. So maybe
like what?
Well, like, I know this is a thing, a new kind of thing, and like newish thing of like, let's talk about the person's manifesto. You know, if there's like an attack, what's the manifesto? I'm like, I feel like that is giving weight to hate. Wow, look at that. That could have been good in an acrostic poem. I think that's giving weight to the hate. And I think really what we shouldn't be calling it a manifesto. Like, this isn't freaking like a solid document. This is someone spewing out hate on a page. Like, let's not call it a manifesto. Like when Michelle Shephard, did I remember her name?
Yeah.
Oh my God, so proud. When Michelle Shephard was talking about Norway and the attack there, it was like, this guy's manifesto. I'm like, first of all, don't name him. I don't want to hear his name. Second of all, don't call it a manifesto because it gives weight to what he put down on paper. There's no weight to that. I feel like I just feel that calling it a manifesto and saying, let's go through the reasons that this person had to carry out this attack. The way you present that is very important, because if you present it in a certain way, it feels like you're presenting it as if it might be factual. And I think calling it a manifesto gives it a weight that it does not deserve. Like an importance.
I don't know if I totally I don't know if I totally agree with that. Like, I agree that I don't like the naming of people and giving them that kind of celebrity, or I don't know, just feel like there's people we just shouldn't give that kind of press to. I think the manifesto term, though, because it does something else than what it does what you're saying. I think that's true. But the other thing it does, I think, is it helps convey that this is not just sort of an attack born of chaos, that there is an organized thought process behind it. There is an ideology that isn't just like one person. Well, although manifesto kind of connotes that's one person's writing, but like, this is an organized point of view that we need to pay attention to. We need to be aware of, and we need, I mean, it's similar to the Project 2025. Like, this is something that people wrote down and organized into, a binder. And it's not just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. This is a plan. This is a plan with goals and outcomes. I think that is important to give some attention to.
But I feel like giving it that term of manifesto is giving it too much positive attention. I think like some sort of like declaration of intentions, or like, I don't know, like some form of like, I'm looking up like synonyms.
But what's your
synonyms?
What's your connotation with manifesto?
I just feel like it, like I understand. First of all, I know what a manifesto is. If that's what you were asking, I understand it's a party or an individual declaring its goals and its reasons for certain actions or whatever, like certain policies or ideals. Okay, I understand that. My point is, if you call someone who is picking up a gun, running around to kill people, if you call it their manifesto, you are giving it some positive weight that it does not deserve. It does not deserve to be called that.
Okay, and maybe the more you say this, maybe I start to wonder if this is a difference, like a cultural difference, because I feel like in America, where we're sort of used to mass shootings and mass acts of violence, to me, the term manifesto is associated with people who do that kind of thing.
But even
and it
like
has
a political
a wildly
manifesto.
negative. I don't feel like that's the American association with the term. I feel like the American association with the term is this is like the Unabomber has a manifesto.
But do you not think you should put something in front of that? Like, you should put like an adjective in front of that to be very clear that we're not saying that this this document that we're discussing, this piece of writing, this is not, or this YouTube video, whatever the feck we're claiming as a manifesto, this is not positive. This is like delusional. This is like malicious. This is like unprincipled. I don't know, like all these different words we could use to describe something that is fucking disgusting. And I just think it's too much. I think it's too much power you're giving to the person. Like, I will declare, when I'm sure they did it in this country, but I know in Ireland before the Easter Rising, when they're standing outside the GPO, I know you're not familiar with all this, and they are saying like, this is going to be our constitution. We are declaring a republic. They have like a their goal is to get a Republic of Ireland in 1916 against the British. That is like a positive manifesto. That is a political manifesto. Their goal is true and real. But if you give that to someone who's just going in and fucking shooting a place up, it is giving a weight of something that is crucial and so important to something that is not, or shouldn't be seen as in any way positive or important, and should be seen as negative. And there's not enough negativity to the declaration.
I hear your point. I disagree. I think it's interesting that we're talking about Canada, where neither one of us is from, but we're talking about America's hat. And so I feel some affinity for Canada. I feel affinity for Canada. Yeah, that's a not very nice way of talking about Canada. It's America's hat. It's on top of America. Geographically where Canada is.
Do you want to just like...
You've never heard that?
No. Do you want to just like kill our listenership in Canada? Is that what your aim is, right? Is that your manifesto? Like your aim is right now, let's just kill all of our...
I have had nothing but wonderful experiences in my visits to Canada.
I've never been. I'm so Canada. Excited to go.
It's a wonderful place. Highly recommend. But my point is, I think there is a legitimate difference between that word manifesto and what it may mean in Ireland, in Europe, and what it means in America and maybe Canada. In America, there is no political manifesto. There's a Declaration of Independence. It's not a manifesto of independence. The word manifesto, and
no,
if there's any listeners who think differently.
They took control? Like, if you're not like declaring that that's what you're aiming to do, is that not what a definition is?
But I don't think that resonates in America. I think you ask any American whether they think a manifesto means something good or bad, and I think 100% of people are going to say bad.
While the general definition is the same, its political meaning and significance differ substantially between the United States and Europe due to differences in political systems, culture, and expectations.
I think the internet just validated what I said.
So you guys call it a party platform?
Yeah, a platform. The Republican Party has a platform. Well, the Republican Party maybe has a manifesto, but the Republican Party has a platform. The Democratic Party has a platform. They don't have a manifesto.
Well,
in practical terms, it's the same thing.
Basically a manifesto.
I know, but they call it a platform.
In Europe, the term manifesto is a standard and respected part of the democratic process, signifying the party's specific plans for governance. In the US, the word manifesto carries a negative connotation. It is associated with radical, individualistic, or revolutionary movements rather than mainstream politics. All right, Jeff, is this the first time that this has happened where we've had an argument and then we're like, oh, this is actually a disagreement over definitions?
I think it might be, actually. That's kind of amazing.
I don't remember that
149 episodes in.
Wow. Jeez.
I thought you were going to say, is it the first time you've been right? And it's definitely not. But this is a time.
We're not on double digits yet or anything for you being right. But
oh my God.
Not like
100. Next episode is 150. Do you realize that?
Let me just get my chalk out and update the chalkboard. Alrighty. What's your vibe on like continuing this?
I did want to bring this up. We talked about this off the mic, but this felt remarkably similar to a movie I watched. A Spike Lee movie called Black Klansman, which came out before this podcast, actually. I think it came out in like 2018 or something. And that's based on a true story. It's a fictionalized version of a true story about I think he's actually a journalist in the movie. But it's a black man in America who joins the Klan.
Okay.
But he doesn't go in person to meetings. He talks to them on the phone, and they don't realize that he's black. And it's a comedy. It's a funny movie. It obviously goes to some pretty serious and dark places. But as I was listening to this, I thought, well, this is kind of the same story, but like a less wild version of it. It's tamer than that. And so I guess on that level, I was a little kind of disappointed in this, that it wasn't maybe more kind of wild and out there for what it's talking about. But so I'm biased by that. But I am curious about this because I don't really know anything about this sort of culture and these attitudes in Canada. I've never heard any story about neo-Nazis or white supremacists.
Are they going to be that much different?
What? Well, probably not. I think our host and Ryan,
chaos.
not Ryan. Yeah, Ryan.
And then
I think
and then start to get the white people to be like, you know what, you're right. We should be in charge. It's fucking already happening. It's playing
Sure.
out around us.
All right, what's your vibe? How do you feel about keeping going with this?
I enjoy the host. I enjoy the main storyteller, I suppose, in this. The journalist Ryan, that we've heard a lot from. So I'm interested from that point of view. Am I interested in hearing more about this topic? No, because I wish it could just not exist. I don't know. I obviously a lot of what we listen to, I wish it could not exist, but I don't know. I just feel like it's
Which are you excited about for it to exist?
maybe it's because like a lot of what we listen to is like past. Like this thing has happened and we're hearing a story about it, and it's like, so you're hearing the perspective of the story and like what has played out. But right now we've heard like, so far we've heard this meeting, and I'm like, this guy, Patrick, this neo-Nazi that he met, that Ryan, the journalist, met with, he was talking about like potential opportunities for attacks. That's disconcerting. You know, the causing chaos. And then when they have the clips of all these different attacks that have happened across the US on different groups, churches, or like, you know, mosques, or like in a specific like neighborhood grocery store where there might be a huge percentage of Black people. Like we have all these clips coming in, and I'm just like, oh my God. So like it's, every time you hear that story is the conspiracy that, okay, there's more to this than just some random lad going in and being like, I'm having a horrible time, or my ex broke up with me and I'm, you know, this is how I think I'm going to deal with it, which is, you know, I don't mean to say that as if it's a dismissive way, but as in like to have a larger thing of like, no, this is what we want. We want to start creating chaos.
Yeah.
It's a different level, and it's more, it creates, I don't know, I suppose discomfort. I feel like I've said that a few times actually since the summer when we started to listen to these podcasts. I don't know, am I growing old? Too old for this shit? It's just, it's disconcerting, and it's fucking disgusting to hear people talk about another human as half human. I found that so fucking grotesque.
Yeah, it is grotesque. It is.
Obviously, yeah.
It's upsetting.
As I said, I've said it already, but like I did appreciate that the question was like, but how, like, what was your reaction? Because you're talking to this person. And then at the same time, I'm thinking, well, you and I know from day jobs, like when you go for a walk with someone, if you want to have a conversation, I think that it might be a little bit more awkward for you to say, or someone else to say, going for a walk is ideal because you don't have to look them face to face. So maybe that's when it happened. Maybe it happened and he's able to like control his face because he's not looking straight at the person. If you're sitting across the table at someone and someone says something to you and you're like, oh my God, my eyebrow, stay down, eyebrow, stay down. Like, don't like smirk, like, don't like face control yourself is much harder to do. Yeah,
that's true. I don't know. I'm curious to hear where this goes. I think it was interesting how this first episode got to the point of publishing the story.
It felt done.
I thought it would take a lot longer to get there. I'm not really sure what comes next.
Yeah.
I guess we should keep listening and find out.
Yeah. In the meantime, please leave a comment and let us know your thoughts. Is there anything that you love that we missed? Is there anything you disagree on? Have you noticed, Jeff and I love disagreeing. Tell us ways that you could disagree with us or agree with me and tell Jeff he's wrong, because, you know, we love to hear it. And while you're at it, don't forget to go into Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts and rate us. 5 stars really helps get the show out there for more people. It helps us build visibility and bring in more listeners. So we'd really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoy our next episode.
Next time, will Ryan be successful in exposing Patrick and his white supremacist group?
Or did Ryan take it too far and put his own safety at risk?
We'll be recapping all of White Hot Hate.
That's on the next So Much Crime.
So Little Time.
So Much Crime, So Little Time is a production of MimeGov Media. The executive producer is Paxton Calariso. Our associate producer is Blythe Ty. Theme music was composed by Vyacheslav Starostin. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to this show in your podcast app. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and a review. Even better, tell your friends. To join the discussion, look for us on social media. Check out the show notes for all the links. Thanks for listening.